Well, ladies and gentlemen, we just witnessed one of the most exciting sessions at any USA Swimming National Championships, at least in my lifetime. I'm Jeff Cummings, joined by Swimming World contributor David Reeder. A world record to start off the night here in Irvine, California. We're going to get right to it on that recap. Women's 400 freestyle, Katie Ledecky, 3:58.86. I just can't believe I just said that. 3:58.86 in the 400 freestyle. Without a super suit, no rubber suit on her. She beat Federica Pellegrini's 2009 world record by 29 100ths of a second. She was 1.7 seconds under it for about the middle 200, and then Pellegrini started to catch her on that last 100, but she held on. That kick on that last 50 was furious, and the crowd was helping her along. It was great to see her reaction. I think of all the records she has broken in her lifetime, I think she knew that one was the one that was going to be the toughest to do. You know, it's just amazing to have been a part of that, David.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I know you've been to a lot of nationals. It was my first nationals. Certainly the most exciting race I've ever seen in person. Ledecky, just fantastic. That record by Pellegrini, 3:59.1. I've always thought it was one of the most suit-aided records just because Pellegrini, great 200 swimmer, the suit really helped her stretch it out to the 400, and she broke it by so much. But Katie Ledecky, it looked like she was kind of hurting those 6th and 7th laps, but maybe it was the crowd that last lap, that kick, coming home, and the tempo increased, the stroke length increased, and it was really cool to watch, and just the reaction of everyone here, even us, it was just so cool.
Yeah, it was very
awesome.
cool, and it's one of those things you just will never forget. I don't think I'll ever forget witnessing that in my lifetime. No. I'm sure Sierra Runge will never forget being a part of this. She was second in that race, dropped 3 seconds off her lifetime best with a 4:04.6. She's going to Pan Pacs now in the 800 and the 400 free and the 200 free on the 800 free relay, right. So she's going to be a very busy girl in Australia. Great, I just got to give props to her because she's really coming into her own. Obviously last year she was very good at the Junior World Championships, but to make that big jump into now competing at the senior level is just amazing.
Yeah, Sierra Runge, fantastic. From 4:04. 4:04 used to be considered really good. Now Ledecky, I mean, isn't like 4:03 second in the world?
Yeah.
So Runge right up there. I think I wrote down she's 8th in the world right now. And she said afterwards, she felt the crowd too. The crowd was going nuts for Katie. And you know, a couple people kind of noticed that she was there winning her battle with Leah Smith, and she fed off that crowd to a really great time.
Yeah, it was just really good. And how can you top that? But we had to. We had 7 more races to do tonight. Yep. The men's 400 freestyle turned out a little bit different than I think anybody expected. Michael McBroom took the race out hard and held on. Michael McBroom won that with a 3:47.19. I believe it was his first national title. He's been second to Conor Yeager for the past couple of years, so to finally break through there in the 400, which is not really his event, was a big boost for him. Matt McLean, who is a 400 specialist, 3:47.30. Just a really interesting field. You know, you got people like Conor Yeager and Matt McLean, all these guys who kind of are distance swimmers. They held back. And then there's Michael McBroom as a miler, went for it. So it was just very interesting to see these guys, and I just didn't expect Michael to be able to hold on as long as he did. I thought Conor Yeager was going to have this big last 200, and it didn't really materialize for him. But really good for Matt McLean. He's been kind of having some troubles with his 400 free, right. and to finally see that come through, I hope he can kind of capitalize that now with the Pan Pacs, because they're going to need it. 3:47 is going to be pedestrian compared to Ryan Cochran, Jordan Harrison, Mac Horton, what they're going to be able to do.
Not to mention Kazke Aguino, who was the one that beat Yeager at the Worlds last year. I was expecting Yeager to run away with this. He was 3:45 at the Bulldog Grand Slam last month, and honestly, I was shocked. I think he might have swam Matt McLean's race. Matt McLean in the prelims went out really slow, and again here it looks really, really smooth. Maybe too smooth the first 200, and was coming at the end. He was planning that. Yeager, maybe he was just trying to stay with McLean, but it's something he did wasn't right, and I think we'll see a lot more of him at Pan Pacs. And then Connor Dwyer was apparently going to swim it at Pan Pacs, so I think that race could have some shifting. I would not pen in McBroom and McLean for the world spots, but definitely great swim by McBroom, take advantage of it, and his race strategy paid off.
Yeah, I was really surprised Connor didn't swim it, but he will need to swim it at Pan Pacs in order to get on that World Championship team, which is something was a sore spot for him last year. He flinched on the start at Nationals, didn't get to swim the 400. I know he said he really wanted to go to Worlds in 2015, so he's going to be hungry for that.
I think Bob said this morning that it was just worked out better with the schedule because he wants to have a good 200 IM tomorrow.
Yeah, it really will make sense. Women's 100 breaststroke. This is very interesting. Always fun to see a tie for the gold medal. And Jessica Hardy and Michael Lawrence tied for the gold, 1:06.51 to the 100th of a second. It was a little bit scary because they said results were unofficial for about 3-4 minutes. Yeah. And you know, you just never know, especially with breaststroke. They're thinking, okay, did some judge saw a double dolphin kick on a pullout or one-handed touch, whatever. And you know, I'm sure Jessica Jessica and Micah were just like, oh, I didn't do anything. What's going on? But everything was official. Both of them going to Pan Pacs. I kind of believe both of them might be going to Worlds, but I think Bria Larson is going to have something to say about that when she gets to Pan Pacs as well.
Agreed. Micah, her 200 was okay, was nothing special. Her 100 was really on point. It was on point this morning when she was the top seed, and then she hung on and caught Hardy down the stretch, and it was a great battle between those two and Larson and Emma Rini, and honestly, just a great race. And I think that wait after the results are unofficial might have been a little more nerve-wracking for Hardy because Micah was already on the team.
Right.
And Jessica, she made Worlds with the 50 breast, but hadn't made Pan Pacs yet. So good to see them on the team, and I think we might see a little bit faster times at Pan Pacs, but certainly for that leg of the medley relay, I'm not as concerned about the breaststroke as I am about the butterfly, just because that's competitive really with what people are going now. Right now,
pretty competitive.
Especially teams that are competitive on the medley relay.
Right.
So.
All right, men's 100 breaststroke. I had a feeling we were going to see 2-3 swimmers under a minute. We only got one under a minute, but it wasn't the guy I thought it was going to be. Cody Miller, the Indiana University graduate, went 59.91, his first time under a minute. He had a great swim. It was really very tactical, kind of stayed with the field that first 50. Obviously, he wasn't going out too hard. And then that last 25 just took off and just left Kevin Cordes, who's always a pretty good closer, in his wake. And 59.91 was just really good. And then Kevin didn't even get second. It was Nick Fink who got second way out in lane 8. So Nick Fink now going to Pan Pacs, and potentially the second place swimmer for Worlds in the 100, 200, depending on what goes on at Pan Pacs. But Cody Miller, he's always been right there. He was second in the 200 breast at NCAA, so I thought, okay, he's going to might have a good 200 breast long course. That didn't pan out for him. Maybe right. I think maybe he and Ray Lewis just need to now start thinking about that 100 breast a little more.
Sure. Cody Miller, honestly, he gets out of the pool just in his post-race interview. I don't think we got to talk to him, but just the shock on his face and how genuinely excited he was. It's something you don't get to see a lot with people who are on the national team year after year, and it just doesn't mean so much anymore. But for him, that was just really genuine. It was cool to see just how excited he was. Cordes, frankly, I was shocked. That was a terrible swim for him, honestly. I'm not surprised Nick Fink got second, even out in lane 8. He had already made the team in the 200. He was in the World's final last year. But Cordes, it's weird his night swims. He was decent in the morning, especially in the 200. This morning the 100 was okay for a morning swim, but I expected a low 59.
Well, this just goes along with what everybody's doing at this meet. They're racing each other and not staying in their own lane and swimming the times that they know that they can swim. Yeah. They're trying to get these spaces on the team, and they're swimming fast in the morning, and they're probably thinking, I got to put a little more energy into it at night, and that doesn't really pan out. So I think all these coaches are probably telling these guys, we gotta learn how to be able to equate your morning swim to your final swim, and it takes a little bit of work. But some of these guys are old pros at it; they should know a little bit better. Yeah, but we'll see how it pans out. All right, women's 100 backstroke. This had to be very exciting for anybody who lives in the Bay Area around Berkeley. Cal 123, Missy Franklin 59.38, Rachel Bootsma 100.71, Elizabeth Pelton 100.76. Honestly, I'm surprised that we didn't get another swimmer under a minute. The way the first half of that race looked, I thought Rachel Bootsma was going to get under a minute. She always has had great speed, but I really thought she was going to be able to carry it just a little bit longer into that finish.
Honestly, what surprised me, it looked like Missy slipped off the start. She came up way behind anybody else. She told us she didn't. She just said she has bad starts and she needs to work on them.
She does have bad starts. I mean, that was one of the
especially bad.
If you remember at the Olympics, I mean, she was almost a half a body length behind Emily Seebohm and then just blew away the field at the end. So it's not uncharacteristic, but you do kind of worry about that, especially in this day and age. But pretty soon we won't have to worry about it. In about a month or two, FINA is going to get those backstroke ledges into use, and that'll be one less thing that backstrokers have to worry about.
But great swim by Bootsma and Pelton to both get on the Pan Pacs team for the first time. Especially happy for Pelton. I feel like it's been a long meet for her with a terrible 200 back. She was like 210 or 211, and it's some weight off her shoulders. I talked to her afterwards, very impressed how she maintained her composure through that swim, and I think she'll be a factor in the 100 and the 200 Pan Pacs.
She definitely will be. All right, men's 100 backstroke. Matt Grievers finally gets the monkey off his back for good from that 2010 Nationals where he didn't make Pan Pacs or Worlds. 52.75, top 5 in the world. That's got to give him a lot of confidence. I mean, this is just really the kind of Matt Grievers that we have been continually seeing since 2012, and to be able to maintain that consistency is not easy. I mean, you can tell anybody who's been on the top for many years, Michael Phelps, Ryan Lochte, it's not easy to be the best from year after year after year after year, and for Matt to be able to continually do that. And I'm sure he was staying there on the edge of that of the pool thinking, gosh, I don't want 2010 to happen to me again. But he maintained his composure. I mean, to win by 0.5 of a second on this great field says a lot. I mean, Ryan Murphy gets second. Really great swim for him, 53.21. And then Nick Thoman was third. So Nick Thoman will be going to Pan Pacs, which is great for him. You know, he probably thought I had an outside chance, but now he's in.
Right.
He gets a chance to maybe boot Ryan Murphy off the World Championship team next couple weeks in Pan Pacs. So I think the 100 back is looking pretty solid for the U.S.
Yeah, definitely. Griever's heart of a champion. Since, other than that one slip up in 2010, he's been so consistent every single year since he won the Olympic silver medal back in 2008. And you just kind of had a feeling he was going to come out here and try and take care of business out under world record pace. And when I talked to him a few minutes ago, he was saying, you know, at some point I think I can break that world record. I think I'm in the greatest shape of my life. Give me an indoor pool and the backstroke ledge, and he thinks he can do it. And it was definitely a statement swim, I thought, there. David Plummer, you know, 53-1 this morning, did not get in there in the final. Kind of disappointing for him. He's still in the world's team with his 50 back. And obviously, Murphy right on what he went this morning, and Thoman, after all he's been through, good to see him making that team as well.
Yeah, so a lot of great swimming tonight. We got one more night to go, as a lot of swimmers like to say, last one, fast one. So everybody's going to be putting it all on the line. Anybody who hasn't made the team is going to do everything they can to get on the team tomorrow. We got the 200 IM and the 50 freestyle. Those will be the events that people will be able to qualify for Pan Pacs. They got the men's 800 and the women's mile tomorrow. I don't believe they pick Pan Pacs for those, but they will be swimming those events at Pan Pacs. So the guys who have already made the team will get a chance to kind of work on their 800s and the girls on their 1500.
Right.
I'm not going to even go on the line and say there's a world record possibility for Katie Ledecky because
I heard she's not swimming it.
Oh, she may not be swimming. Well,
I think she said after that she's not going to swim it tomorrow.
Well, and
just train, get ready for Pan Pacs.
Well, she might as well do that because you know, maybe she knows that 1500 after the 400. I think she's probably a little bit tired.
Hard to top that.
So save the 1500 for Australia.
Right.
That'd be a great place to do it, I think. Well, this is going to be, like we said, one more night here in Irvine, California. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Go to swimmingworld.com for all of our recaps. Go to swimmingworld.tv for all of our video interviews, including Katie Ledecky after her mile, or her 400 free today. Bruce Gimmel is also in there talking about her 400 free. Michael Phelps about his 100 back. Everything you want to hear about from these swimmers and coaches, we got it for you on Swimming World TV and swimmingworld.com. And don't forget our social media platforms, Facebook and Twitter. So for everybody here at swimmingworld.com, before they turn all the lights off, I'm Jeff Cummings. Thanks for watching.